Hello friends, this is Ruchira Vaidya and you are watching my CA Final Audit channel, that is for CA Final Auditing students. Now friends, in this video we are going to do SA 240, that is Auditor's Responsibilities relating to fraud in audit of financial statements. Now friends, first we begin with the objective. What is objective of this standard on auditing? The objective of the auditor is to identify and assess the risk of material misstatement in the financial statements due to fraud, to obtain sufficient and appropriate audit evidence about the assessed risk of material misstatement due to fraud through designing and implementing appropriate responses, to respond appropriately to identified or suspected fraud. Now, this was the objective. Now we begin with the definition of fraud and fraud risk factors. Now what is fraud? Fraud is an intentional act done by one or more individuals among management, those charged with governance, employees or third parties, involving the use of deception, that is to cheat, to obtain an unjust or illegal advantage. Now what are fraud risk factors? Fraud risk factors are the events or conditions that indicate an incentive or pressure to commit fraud or provide an opportunity to commit fraud. Now friends, we will be seeing what is fraudulent financial reporting. The fraudulent financial reporting means intentional misstatements or omissions of amounts or disclosures in the financial statement to deceive the financial statement users in the following ways, like manipulation, falsification, including forgery or alteration of accounting records or supporting documentation from which the financial statements are prepared. Misrepresentation or intentional omission from the financial statements of the events or transactions or other significant information. Intentional misapplication of accounting principles relating to amounts classification, manner of presentation or disclosure. Recording fictitious journal entries, particularly close to the end of an accounting period, to manipulate operating results or achieve other objectives. Inappropriately adjusting assumptions and changing judgments used to estimate the account balances. Omitting, advancing or delaying recognition in the financial statements of events and transactions that have occurred during the reporting period. Now this was the fraudulent financial reporting. Now what is misappropriation of assets, that we will be seeing. It includes embezzling receipts. For example, misappropriating collections on accounts receivable or diverting receipts in respect of return of accounts to personal bank accounts. Stealing physical assets or intellectual property, like stealing inventory for personal use or for sale, stealing scrap for resale, etc. Causing an entity to pay for goods and services which are not received. Using an entity's assets for personal use, for example, using the entity's assets as collateral for a personal loan or a loan to related party. Now, what is the risk assessment procedures and related activities? It includes 2 points, that are inquiries of management and others within the entity and inquiring those charged with governance. Now what is inquiries of management and others within the entity? The auditor shall make inquiries of management regarding the management's assessment of the risk of material misstatement due to fraud, management's process for identifying and responding to the risk of fraud, management's communication, if any, to those charged with governance, management's communication, if any, to employees regarding its views on business practices and ethical behavior. For those entities that have an internal audit function, the auditor shall make inquiries of the internal auditor. Now, inquiring those charged with governance, what does it consider? The auditor shall obtain an understanding of how those charged with governance supervise management's processes. How the auditor shall ask those charged with governance whether they have a knowledge of any fraud affecting the entity. Now the next point is audit procedures responsive to risk relating to management override of controls. Now friends, in this point, the auditor should assess the risk of management override of controls. The auditor should design and perform the audit procedures to test the appropriateness of journal entries recorded in the general ledger and other adjustments made in the preparation of the financial statements. Make inquiries of individuals involved in the financial reporting process about inappropriate or unusual activity relating to the processing of journal entries. Select the journal entries and other adjustments made at the end of a reporting period. The auditor should consider the need to test journal entries and other adjustments throughout the period. The auditor should review accounting estimate for basis and evaluate whether the circumstances producing the bias, if any, represent risk of material misstatement due to fraud. Now friends, I have one important question taken over here, that is duties and responsibilities of auditor in case of material misstatement resulting from management fraud. Now in this case, you have to write first this answer I have basically divided into 5 points and the conclusion part. The first point is, what is fraud? Fraud is an intentional activity to deceive or cheat the management, employees, creditors, government, etc. What is management fraud? Next we will be writing fraud involving one or more members of management or those charged with governance is referred to as management fraud. The primary responsibility for the prevention and detection of the fraud rests with those charged with governance and management of the entity. Now the next point is responsibilities of the auditor. The auditor is responsible for obtaining reasonable assurance that the financial statements taken as a whole are free from material misstatement, whether caused due to fraud or error. But owing to the inherent limitations of an audit, there is unavoidable risk that some material misstatements of the financial misstatement may not be detected even though the audit is properly planned and performed in accordance with standards on auditing. The risk of the auditor not detecting material misstatement from management fraud is higher than the risk of the employee fraud, because management is frequently in a position to directly or indirectly manipulate accounting records, present fraudulent financial information, or override control procedures. Now there is duty of the auditor. The next point is duty of the auditor as per section 143(12) of the Companies Act 2013. If the auditor of a company is in the course of performance of his duties as an auditor has reason to believe that an offence involving fraud has been committed against the company by officers or employees of the company, then and if the amount of fraud is 1 crore or more, the auditor shall report the matter to the central government, or if the amount of fraud is less than 1 crore, the auditor shall report the matter to the audit committee or board. Now there is also duty as per CARO 2016. The auditor, if he finds that there is any fraud by the company or any fraud on the company by its officers or employees, then you should inform the nature and the amount involved is to be indicated by the auditor as per clause 10 of paragraph 3 of CARO 2016. Now finally there is a conclusion which is as follows. Sometimes there are circumstances from which the auditor may not be able to continue performing the audit. Now what the auditor is supposed to do in such cases? The auditor shall determine the professional and legal responsibilities applicable in the circumstances, requiring whether there is requirement for the auditor to report to the person or person who made the audit appointment, and in some cases to regulatory authorities. Now consider whether it is appropriate to withdraw from the engagement where it is legally permissible, and if the auditor withdraws, the auditor should discuss with the appropriate level of management and those charged with governance the reasons for the withdrawal, whichever is applicable. Now friends, this was the important question which I was saying. This was an overview of the SA 240 auditor's responsibilities relating to fraud in audit of financial statements. One of the important questions which I found is important is also I have discussed here, and how to write the answer I have been suggested. Now friends, if you like this video, please give a thumbs up and do like my video. Also, if you like all of the videos, please subscribe my channel, which will help you in future. I will be soon putting more videos. So have a good day, good night, take care.